How you doing, everyone? It's me, TheDomotaku, and I would like to call this the TheDomotaku podcast, essentially. Yes, this is gonna be the first time I'm gonna be doing this thing. I had this idea, and I'm just like, I don't know how to go through with it, but I needed to come up with an idea or like a method, because a lot of personal stuff we're going through right now in terms of like a career and stuff. So I have a bunch of projects to do, and I actually am going back to school. Classes resume a week from now, essentially. And I'm just like, shit, I'm going to be really busy juggling schoolwork and a career. And then I don't even know if I'll have time to watch anime. I don't know if I'll have time to make videos anymore. And I'm really slacking on videos already enough, because I'm just being super lazy and trying to juggle fate and like my video game life and hobbies and stuff and like other things. So I'm just like, I need to do like a day where I can just like sit down, relax right now, and essentially talk about everything, essentially. And I was like, I like that idea because I do enjoy podcasts. Like, if you guys don't know, but I mean, I like subscribing to channels and like looking at podcasts and stuff. It's just really easy to go to one giant video with a bunch of information and stuff like that. Like, it's an hour long, and then like, let's say one day I'll get through like 10 minutes of it first, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta do something, then I come back to it later and finish it later on. You know, it's all in one thing. And that's what the idea for this TheDomotaku podcast is. I also do have a SoundCloud. We'll see if I upload it there, but who knows. But anyways, today I'm going to be talking about all the anime for the winter 2019 season, because 4 weeks, I believe, have been going by so far. 3 to 4 weeks, because some series are on episode 3 now, some episodes are on 4, some are on 2, and 1 still, which is really late, but I mean, I can't help it. So, but yeah, a lot of the series is really great. And then I will be mentioning a few things about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. There is a separate video for that I did record, more in depth, but I'll just give like a general talk about it here in video format, or like, you know, physical format. And then just more on this like personal stuff, I guess. We'll see. I don't actually have a lot of scripted stuff here. So anyways, let's talk about the anime. And if you really want to see a specific anime, oh, I'm sorry, and I'm very bright right now because the iPad thing is like really strong. There will be timestamps in the description below if you want to see a certain series that I talk about. The anime that I watch is limited. I realize that now after looking at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, that I don't have time to watch every single thing. There are actually series that I wanted to see in this season that I didn't get to yet. So be warned. And yeah, if you want to see something else, check the description for a timestamp. And I'll be talking about everything that is going on up to January 20th. So I think like Bang Dream's at 4 or 3, episode 3 or 4. Some things are like episode 2 and vice versa. You know what I mean, right? Like whatever has aired up until January 20 is fair game for me to talk about. Okay, so where's my anime list? Using my anime list. I used to use my anime list, but this is called like Annie List, I believe. My Annie List. That's the app I use on my tablet and my phone. So let's get her going. So new this season, Bang Dream second season. Now Bang Dream, it's very good. I'm really liking Bang Dream. After 3 episodes, they are seriously teasing Razor Solon. If you don't know Razor Solon, then they're like a side band that does like they do little performances in between the Bang Dream, the Pop and Party or Roselia concerts and stuff. I guess they're like their own like this random side band that they created, they can sing and stuff like that. And like, it's like, you know what, let's make them into the anime and stuff, because they're not in the Bang Dream Girls Band Party game, so we'll put them in the anime. I was like, it's freaking genius. I like it. And honestly, Bang Dream is improving a lot, I must say, in terms of like the story, because like it's sort of like this thing with anime where you have a slice of life thing, or like Bang Dream, like these girls are going to be in bands and stuff like that. Are they going to be in bands forever? Are they going to go pro and make it their career? Probably not, unless some of them decide to do that. But it's just like the question is like, what will they do afterwards? Because high school anime always have to answer that question. If your setting is in a high school and your characters are like what, in the first or second year or third year, then you gotta be like, what are they gonna do after? Because that's just like a little like icing on the cake, if you get what I'm saying. Like, Love Live is one of the animes that like on the top of my head that like I could think about where like, oh, every single character in the group, right, is like first year, second year, third year. In a year from now, the third years will graduate and the group will be no more, essentially. So I'm just like, oh, well, shit, what will they do afterwards? The series essentially ends, that is happening right now in Bang Dream, where like a lot of them went to the next year, and essentially like even like now they're not doing much. If someone like one of their group members has a job to do, so they can't really meet up and stuff, and I'm just like, the time that they spend together is very decreasing and less. That makes me think like, wow, like they probably can't be doing this forever unless they choose to do it. It's very interesting how they go through that. Aside from that, I'm always down for like more songs from Bang Dream. I like all the bands. Of course, if you saw my episode 2 video about the season, then Rosalia, first favorite. I don't know, man. It's just like the style of their music and their band, like their theme. Like, they're like super cool and super serious, and like I can't describe music in words because I'm really bad at describing things. But yeah, I mean, second would probably be, would it be Afterglow? I don't know. It'd be probably Party or Afterglow, because like they're like somewhat more down to center. Like Afterglow has a lot more rock into their thing. Pop and Party is a lot of like cheerfulness and like happy party stuff like that. Pastel Palettes is they're like the idol group, so it's somewhat like Love Live except with instruments. And then Happy Party is just like doing whatever they want and spreading happy and joy to the world. So they're like my last one, but I don't dislike them as much. But yeah, I mean, Bang Dream so far, I thought it was really nice just seeing how this is not exactly the Girls Band Party mobile game into an anime. They have elements from the game somewhat, so I'll be surprised if you watching this anime while you're not playing the game, then just a lot of things will be very confusing. Yes, indeed, especially the introduction of all the bands, because straight from season 1 to 2, you're not introduced to Afterglow, Rosalia, or Pastel Palettes or Happy World. You're not. You're only introduced to them in the game. So then just like, how do you like, you're supposed to play the game essentially. That's really weird. But yeah, I mean, yeah, let's see, episode 3. So far for Bang Dream, I'm just waiting for the soundtrack for the ED. I think Rosalia has like a soundtrack coming out on the February 20, Safe and Sound. And then also Pop and Party does too. Oh shoot, there's another anime I'll talk about this another time. But yeah, that's Bang Dream. So far it's really nice. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below if you guys are interested in Bang Dream. Who your favorite band is, and what do you guys think about second season. I'm just going through alphabetical order, I guess, because I'm just looking at my tablet. So next up, we have Boogiepop and Others. I was about to say Boogiepop Phantom, but no, it's Boogiepop and Others, or Boogiepop 2019. So this series is quite interesting. We're at episode 4 right now because Boogiepop had the interesting start where you do the first 2 episodes, and that was pretty solid in my opinion. Yeah, that was actually pretty solid because like the first episode is essentially nothing much happens in episode 1. You just have a bunch of mysterious shit going on, and you introduce the character Boogiepop and the character that Boogiepop takes as a host to do all this supernatural deductive shit, right? And the boyfriend or the main character, like I don't know if he's the main character or not because we don't see him ever again. But like the guy who's interested in our main character, and like, like, oh, there's a man-eater and shit. There's like there's crazy shit going on in this school. And then episode 2 and 3 were essentially the man-eater arc, where, like we saw in episode 1, how this arc resolves through like a outsider perspective, or like, yeah, essentially outsider perspective. Like, like, oh, there's shit going on, and apparently it got taken care of, but we didn't see what happened. Episode 2 and 3 was really cool, and we see different perspectives of like this whole like man-eater thing, where I think the second episode you saw from the good guy's perspective, where you have one high school girl, I forget her name, she died though. She finds the echoes, the good version of this man-eater, and then takes care of him and asks for help from some kind of like badass chick who's like a fire witch. I have no clue how this is gonna happen. And then like she dies, and then we get to know who the bad version is, and like some kind of high school dude helping her eat people and shit. I was like, why? Because he got rejected by the fire witch? I don't know. And then episode 3 was the end, I believe, where they had like a really interesting fight scene where they had a Sakuga animation sort of thing, and they're just like flying around rooftops and like trying to punch each other and shit. I was like, oh, that's interesting. They can do like, fight scenes and stuff. So that was cool. And then like they ended it there with Boogiepop and some like random like archery club dude just like trying to take the shot out of nowhere. I was like, okay. And it gets resolved. And now episode 4, we're in a different arc where it's some like crazy dude or like a psychiatrist or like a therapist, yeah, where essentially he sees like roses or flowers inside of people, and the rose represents the person and like their potential or something like that, right? It's like there's like buds, thorns, and like petals and stuff like that, and I'm just like, it's with the plant is withering or something like that, or the rose, and I'm just like, what kind of random ass thing is this? So essentially he's like trying to help people and try to find the thing that to fill their rose or whatever, like, because they're seeking for as a therapist. And then all of a sudden he like finds the next antagonist, I guess, I don't know, there's another antagonist going on called the Imaginator, where she can do all this godlike shit and like, like possess people's bodies and like fly in the sky and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And then essentially the Imaginator like temptations, what do you call it? He tempts our new evil guy to like go around and like, I don't know what he does to people, but like essentially like he fights people and then all of a sudden they get like frozen or something like that. I have no clue. It's very weird. Essentially, but with Boogiepop, there's some kind of like, I guess there's like an overall arcing plot thing with essentially Boogiepop and this mysterious foe or catastrophe. Is it? I don't know. Honestly, Boogiepop is really weird in a sense. I will say it's weird because you have a bunch of like shit going on and you see them in different perspectives throughout the arcs, right? Which is really interesting. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just really weird when you watch this anime. And I'm pretty sure someone recommended online, like, it'd be easier if you watch this in one go versus watching it weekly, because just so much crazy shit goes on. And then probably the next episode 5, we'll get some other different perspective of this whole arc thing with the Rose dude and like therapists and whatnot. And then Boogiepop tries to stop him and whatnot, and the Imaginator. It's very weird, but I kind of dig it, I guess. I could follow along, it's just sort of like very nothing what I'm used to, I guess what I'm trying to say here. It's very interesting. And, it is like a sci-fi psychology sort of thing, I guess, with like supernatural shit too on the side. But I mean, yeah, Boogiepop is at 4 out of 18, surprisingly. So it's going for 18 episodes. That is quite a lot. It's not the usual standard 12. So who knows how many arcs they can do in this series, but it's quite interesting. If you've seen the original, like, I don't know how long it was 2015, 2005? I don't know. There's another previous adaptation, like, years ago that was made. If you guys seen that one, let me know, but don't spoil anything because spoilers are not good. Next up, Day Live 3. So this is really weird. I just watched episode 2, was it yesterday, 2 days ago? And I was like, for some reason, really excited and really happy watching it. I don't know why. So at first, when I made the first video episode about Day Live 3, season 3, I was just sort of like, oh, it's Day Live, guy and a lot of cute girls in the harem and stuff like that. And like, it's a new girl, and I'm just like, yeah, it's Day Live. What can I say about it? And like, thinking about it now after watching the second episode, I'm just like, why do I enjoy this anime so much? Like, when I was watching the second episode, I was like, I'm having way too much fun watching this for some reason. And I know Day Live isn't really critically acclaimed or like a lot of like super highly rated with everyone. It's like a harem thing, essentially. And I'm just like, but I, for some reason, like, had a great time watching the second episode. And the second episode essentially featured, was a continuation of the first one where, you know, Natsumi, the witch spirit, has challenged him to a game where she's disguised as one of his 12 companions, and he has the deductive one truth prevails this shit, and like, you know, oh, you're this person, or else they will all disappear. And essentially, I somewhat called it that he's going to go on dates with them, and through those dates discern who's who. But then I thought it would take the whole series to go through this arc, but no, it actually went through like, what, 3 dates? Wait, 4 dates. He went through 4 dates in this episode. I'm just like, okay, my theory is like out of the window. So he goes on a date with Toka, Yoshino, his male friend, and was it Kaguya or Yuzuru? Oh shit, who's the one who disappeared? I think it was Yuzuru. I'm pretty sure it's Yuzuru. Okay, so it was really, I don't know. Okay, so let me think calmly about this and rationally about this. It was very fan servicey. I have no clue how to describe this. Essentially, when he's going through the dates, right, he's just trying to discern how they act and, like, you know, around him, and if they're their usual thing, he's like testing them. It's like, oh, when's the first time we met, or like, what's the first date we had? And I'm just like, oh, it's this. And then, you know, it's just sort of like, I don't know why I felt like I was having a great time watching this. I'm just like, I don't know, I can't explain it in words. Like, if I had to phrase it as something, it's like my guilty pleasure. I have no clue. I'm sorry if this comes out weird, but like, I had a weirdly, honestly satisfying, great time watching this anime, and watching him go on these dates, and like, you know, all these characters he spent time bonding with throughout like season 1 and 2 and the movie. It just sort of like, is it because of that? It might be. You know, Dating Life this is season 3 essentially, and you have this overall arcing thing that, you know, that conflicts with a lot of the characters you've met and learned about throughout the 3 seasons in the movie, and then shit's going on with them. They're gonna disappear if you don't save them, and I'm just like, oh gosh, this is some serious shit. I guess that's why I'm just so into it, because like, Toka's date was hella funny. She was acting weird at first, but then it's just sort of hella funny how she, like, you know, watches on TV. She's like, you know, guys probably don't like girls who eat more than them and shit like that, and that's why she was acting weird. And it's like this like standard Toka going on, and then Yoshino was like a little kid and like whatever, and then he made her like, she was like trick-or-treating, and I was like, it's kind of adorable, you know, it's whatever. And then who was third? We didn't see the male friend. They skipped the male dude, so that was hella funny as hell. And I was just like, well, male dude was getting screen time, and then it was Yuzuru. Was it Yuzuru? Hold on, all the characters are in here, right? I need to, well, they're freaking twins. I don't know how to discern either of them. Kaguya. I'm pretty sure it's not Kaguya, it's Yuzuru that was there. And Yuzuru had an interesting thing because she's essentially a twin, right? And, you know, it's sort of like the whole thing was like, oh, which twin do you prefer more, me or my sister? And then, you know, like, I would probably answer the same thing as Gio did. Like, you know, like, I can't decide between either of you, you know, I like you both equally or whatever. And it's just sort of like the standard harem thing. I think I have an explanation for why I was overly enjoying this anime. Okay, well, at the end. So yeah, essentially they have a really deep conversation date thing. And in the end, Yuzuru is the one to disappear first after a stroke of midnight. 2 people disappeared. I forget who it was. The second one is, but Yuzuru is the one that disappeared. And essentially everyone, like her sister, is very depressed about it. It's like she just disappeared all of a sudden. We don't know where she is. And I'm just like, yo, this is some deep shit going on. And like, you know, it was super serious. It's like, you know what, episode 3, I want to see what the hell happens. I'm pretty sure in episode 3 he finds the identity of Natsumi. I'm pretty sure, because throughout so we watched the opening too, for one, and I get a gist of what the plot is for this anime, I guess. And essentially, so there's Natsumi, and there's like 3 other spirits after this, and I'm just like, who the hell are these people? I'm pretty sure one of them in the white was Origami. What's her name, Origami? Hold on. It's that white hair chick. Origami, yeah. I totally remember these names for some reason. It's the harem. Yeah, I think one of them is Origami. I'm just like, does she get like spirit powers or something like that? I don't know. Could be. And then the other 2, I don't know who it is. The last one looked like a student or a high school student, so I don't know. It's not no Mayuri judgment shit, but I mean, like, I don't know. So anyways, back to why I think I enjoy this episode way too much. So kind of deep psych evaluation of my own subconscious and preferences and likes and whatnot. This is really weird. So, honestly, I think it's just because I'm really invested in this series and I'm really like this series ever since season 1, season 2, the movie, and this series. I'm just like, yo man, I like this series. That's all I can think about. I'm maybe overthinking this way too much, you know. I enjoyed this episode because I like the series, I like the characters, we spent so much time with these characters, and you know, it's actually really rare in dating life, if you guys watch dating life, because, you know, it's like, what, like, let me look at the picture real quick. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 9 girls in total that he hangs out with, that's in the main cast and whatnot. And usually you never see them not together. You never see them alone with the main protagonist ever. So then these date episodes that they always do, it's just very like fulfilling, I guess. Yes, I think I can understand what I'm thinking about now. It's very fulfilling to see him spend one-on-one time with every single girl throughout the series, and I'm just like, yes, fan service, I guess. I don't know. This is some weird, deep psych evaluation of dating life, and I don't know. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really just enjoyed it. I guess I just like the series a lot, and is it going for 12? It is going for 12. Standard, of course. But yeah, you know, like, it was really cool doing these one-on-one date things, because part of me also doesn't really remember much of the characters from season 1 and 2. I probably could rewatch Dating Live. Do I want to do that? The movie, I do have the movie. I recently watched. Well, actually, no, they did that in the movie though. They did. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. So yeah, they did do the one-on-one date thing in the movie. I'm just like, okay, never mind. It's not been done before, but like recently they did it, and the movie is technically canon. So okay. We'll move on with Dating Life. So far, I mean, I'm overall enjoying it. We'll see how all these other new characters are with in the season, because there's like 3 more after Natsumi. And I'm just like, who are you, spirits? You're not from the game, so I don't know who the hell you are. We'll see. From what I heard, Dating Life is finished completely, like the light novel or the manga or whatever it originated from. That's what I heard. At least I looked it up on Wikipedia. I was like, is this series done? And they can like finish it, and I think it is. I don't really. Someone verify for me in the comments below if you guys are really experts in googling stuff and information. So we'll move on to that. Next up, domestic girlfriend, domestic kanojo, dome kano, dome cross kano. There's a lot of acronyms for this series. This series so far, oh my goodness, I am overall really liking this series again, because as you all know, I am a huge manga guy. If I point to my collection over there, you know, I collect a lot of manga, I read a lot of manga on my phone too, and Domestic Kanojo is just one of those series that I discovered super early. I don't know. This thing has like, hold on, let me look at the manga real quick if I can somehow see how many chapters there are, because I'm at 212 apparently from what this thing is saying in my anime list. So there's like 200 plus chapters of this series. And now that they have an anime of it, I'm just sort of going along the ride and recapping myself and refreshing myself with the beginning of the series, which had a lot of very interesting things go on, right? Because I will say this, as someone of the manga, I'm not gonna spoil anything from the manga or the anime. So there's just the tone. I guess the tone has really shifted from like the beginning of this series to now, or in like the recent chapters, because there's just like a lot of like development for the characters, and I think they really grow up as the series goes by, right? And it's just really nice to see that in the beginning it was very whatchamacallit, very tense and very like I don't know how to put this in words, but then like the opening had like the feel of it is just very like dark and tense and stuff like that. If you feel from the opening, because the opening is a freaking badass opening, I must say. Like, honestly, I wasn't really too in a rush to watch this series until I saw the opening. I was like, yo, dude, the opening makes this anime look so sick. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I have to watch this anime and just get the feel of it back in the day. And episode 2, so did I talk about episode 1? Oh, I didn't talk about the series actually. Yeah, that's true. So let's talk about Domestic Kanojo episodes 1 through 2. So opening's badass, freaking great. The first episode, so I finally get to see these characters in animation and color, and the coloring looks very decent, I guess. The voices, main character Natsuo, man, he kind of sounds kind of iffy to me. It's not what I imagined from him from the manga. I expected a more like manlier voice, I guess, but I mean, I guess it works because, well, we'll see. He's growing. This is the first episode. It's like chapter 1 all over again. Rui and Hina are very interesting, and like they train them really well and stuff. Like this is like how they act now these days, or like in the very beginning of the series. I think they're really well done, and they try to. Well, the first episode introduces, of course, like the whole relationship thing. Where wait, I did not upload Domestic Kanojo. I'm pretty sure I did, but yeah, you know, like oh, Natsuo randomly has sex with one of the girls and they meets at a party or like a get together, and then essentially, you know, like they hook up, or not they hook, don't forget though I said they don't hook up. His dad gets married to their mom and they become siblings and stuff like that. So his crush on Hina Sensei, his teacher, they're siblings now, and the girl our main character had sex with is their sibling, and it's just like crazy shit going on. And then the end of the episode had this awesome like cliffhanger thing where he gets discovered trying to kiss Hina. I'm just like, oh shit, I don't remember what happens after this. And then in the next episode he's just sort of like, oh, you're trying to wake her up. So smooth going on. Episode 2, surprisingly, a lot of people really liked episode 2, and it was a really focused Rui episode. Is it Rui? Hold on, I want to make sure I'm saying this right. I know I'm pretty sure it's Rui. I shouldn't doubt myself and my anime memory expertise name thing. So yeah, Rui had a huge focus on this episode, and I think a lot of people really liked this episode and feel more what do you call it? More supportive of Rui in the relationship, because essentially it's gonna be a love triangle sort of thing. You can see in the opening, guys, it's obvious. Because essentially, I don't remember this anymore because it's been a long time, but you know, Rui is very straightforward and really dense with her words, and like sort of doesn't know how to communicate. She's socially awkward in a sense. She says that in the anime, I think. She quotes it herself. It's like, you know, I'm really socially awkward and I don't really know how to keep conversations going or stuff like that. And like, you know, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, what do I do? And stuff like that. So then I was just like, oh my gosh, she's adorable. And then, you know, he lightens up the mood by talking to her and essentially like talking about some random ass shit and people thinking it's like a comedy skit thing. And I'm just like, and then the whole class laughs and they're just like, oh, Rui, you're not so like mean or whatever. And we get you, you know, you're socially awkward somewhat and you don't know how to talk to people or interact with people and stuff like that. So, you know, but we can still be friends and stuff. And I was just like, this is a very lighthearted episode, and I was really like enjoying it. And then in the later half of that episode, they go in the bath together to have a deep talk about Hina's girlfriend. Or not, whoa, this is not a Yuri. Why did I say that? About Hina's boyfriend. That was really weird. But yeah, essentially, you know, we all know in the anime so far, episode 1 through 2, Hina has a boyfriend, and things are not going well. And essentially, like, she's like really hesitant to tell Natsuo about this because she's like the older figure, and like, you know, she sort of has this, I guess, like a sense of like adults that have to deal with their own stuff and shouldn't like rely on younger people or whatever. That's like, I mean, like, I can't say anything about like the future of the series or who I prefer, but I mean, in terms of like right now, I actually do prefer Rui a lot. She seems more cooler and more relatable than Hina. Hina, like, you know, we don't really know too much about why Natsuo likes Hina from what I remember. It's just sort of like, you know, she's like cute, or like, you know, I don't know, like, well, they met in the roof and then like she read his novel, and then that's it. Like I don't think we know fully why Natsuo has feelings for Hina, honestly. And like as her character, she's just sort of like very iffy, because like she's like an adult trying to like deal with everything herself, and she's very like secretive, I guess, or like, you know, there's just like a lot of things she's hiding from her family and Natsuo, essentially, and she's trying to deal with it herself, and she's sort of like trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Someone said it online, but I don't want to like word from word say it. They're insecure, essentially. I guess it'll change throughout the series, but like so far, like this episode made me really like Rui again, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Rui is just so great as a character. And I can't say much because I'd be spoiling the whole series and the 200 plus chapters I've read. So we're moving on. Leave in the comment section below who you guys prefer, Hina, Rui, or one of those other girls in the opening. I forget their names because they haven't been introduced yet. Next. Man, this list looks literally small. Let me see how much I'm watching. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 anime only. This can be right. Hold up. 8 anime that I'm only watching? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it is 8! Okay. Well, this is really awkward. I feel like I'm watching a lot of stuff, but I'm not watching a lot of stuff, apparently. So next up, we have Magical Girl Spec-Ops Asuka. This is the Magical Girl anime of the season, and a very surprising contender, or very surprising anime for myself after watching it. So, is there episode 2? Oh, there's 2 episodes. Okay, sweet. So currently, there's 2 episodes out right now. If you want to like watch them first, then come back to this video and talk and hear me talk about it, then yeah, feel free to. But if you've seen it already, then here's what I gotta say about Magical Girl Spec-Ops Asuka. For number 1, the opening is freaking badass. Oh, what, my voice cracked just now. Badass. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It's very badass, and as a Magical Girl anime, it's very, how do I put this? Like, ever since Madoka, I don't think I actually made a... Oh, yeah. This is not on the video on YouTube. This is why I'm talking about it right now. I recorded something before this, so I'm just rewording myself, essentially. After all of Madoka, essentially, like, the Magical Girl Madoka anime, there's just been a huge craze for, like, Magical Girl anime or Mahou Shoujo anime, because now there's just, like, you know, Magical Girl stuff with a twist, essentially. One example of that is Magical Girl Sight, which I hear is very dark and edgy, and I haven't seen it yet, but I was meaning to watch it eventually, because I'm just like, oh, what are they gonna do with Magical Girls now? Actually, Yuki Yuna is that considered a Magical Girl anime? It has aspects of it, but you know, it's not like, it doesn't have Magical Girl in its name, so I'm just like, I don't know. And then there's Magical Girl Raising Project. I have no clue what the difference is between that one and the other one. Unless that's the other... I remember I did watch a Magical Girl anime where they had to, like, fight each other and stuff like that to survive. I don't remember. It's really weird. Magical Girl anime now these days, they're just like, we gotta make it look cute and yet twist it and make it dark and stuff like that. Or, like, you know, in animes now these days, like, you gotta make something look cute or twist it or something like that. Like, you know, you have to make something look like this on the outside, but you open the cover... Or you go in, or like on the cover, it looks like this, but when you read the book, it's very different. That's sort of how people are trying to do anime, like with Magical Girls and stuff. And I guess it works to an extent, because this one I am somewhat enjoying, because essentially Magical Girls in this anime are used as elite soldiers, or like a Spec-Ops team, as the title you know, proclaims. And essentially the premise of Magical Girl Asuka Spec-Ops Asuka, like longest title, is that you have beings from another world come to invade Earth, and they legitimately look like animal plushies. Animal mascot plushies. That is officially how they look. They look like stuffed animals or plushies of things like bunnies and cats, and they're just super huge, and like they eat people or whatever, and they like destroy buildings and cause terror and shit. I'm not joking. That's how they look. And then they have another world separate from this world. I believe they're called Dizas, the bad ones. And then you have this other alternate world who also, you know, oppose the Dizas that make a treaty with humanity and humans in Japan, or what I think it's Japan, or just humanity and humans. They give them like these animal companion contractor things that give them the ability to become magical girls essentially, and like their physical abilities and like weapons and stuff like that, and the magical girl armor or whatever. And essentially they created I think it was 9 like magical girls to fight against the Dizas and eliminate their final boss. And in the process you have lost like 5 of them, or no, there's like 5 of them now, so like 4 died in this whole war, right? And our main character Asuka is like really, well, not PTSD. Oh, is she PTSD? I'm not like a doctor, so I can't really say if it's PTSD, but she's really like whatchamacallit, influenced what the fuck? I can't think of words right now. She's very impacted by this whole magical girl thing and fighting, and she essentially wants to quit and become a normal high school girl and live her own life normally and stuff. Although shit like hits the fan, and has to bring her back to become a magical girl and protect her friends and stuff like that, because the world's still fucked up after they saved it. So it's just like, damn, I guess. And also like you know, at least there's like somewhat gory, or like there's blood and stuff like that in this anime. So you know, if you're gonna make magical girls realistic, then you might as well like show some terror and shit. But no, like in this anime they actually have like people like with guns shooting down like groups of massacring people, and you have the giant enemy teddy bear Dizas like eating people's heads and like throwing them aside in the street. And I'm just like, okay, sure, go ahead. And the magical girls, I must say, are badass. I think one of we only seen 2 so far, but they use like guns and flamethrowers and like nunchucks and shit. Our main character Asuka, I don't know what the knife is called. If you're a weapon expert, then please verify this for me. You have a knife, right? And essentially the handle is like a hook. I forget if that's called a karambit or something like that, but please feel free to teach me weapons, because I don't remember what the hell that thing's called. Essentially, Magical Girl Asuka's main weapon is a freaking knife, karambit knife, or I don't know if it's called karambit knife, the correction knife. And I'm just like, this is badass. This is badass. And the opening's badass too. I'm just like, alright, I'm down. Fuck it. Magical Girls is like elite Spec-Ops team trying to fight monsters and terrorism and evil and shit. I'm in. That's literally how I see this anime. So far, I'm pretty sure they're trying to regroup the 5 magical girls. I think they have a name in the anime. I forgot what they call it. The Fatal 5, or not the Fatal 5. The Final 5. I don't know. They're trying to gather all the magical girls to fight evil again, because why not? And I think it was based off a manga. Actually, it is based off a manga. I saw it in the bookstore, but I was just like really iffy about it because I didn't watch the first episode. Now that I watched the first episode, I'm just like, alright, I kind of dig this series. And the art's not that bad. Well, it's not really that 2 thing, but it looks aight. Like, at least the character design for Asuka looks really badass, and she looks way different than everyone else in the show, so that's just me. So far, really liking Magical Girl Spec-Ops Asuka. Next up, we have The Promised Neverland. So I didn't make a first video, or episode 1 video impression on this series, so we can talk about episode 2. So episode 2, finally, oh my gosh, dude, this anime is really structured in a way that like you really want to see what happens next. If you're watching this weekly, then gosh darn, dude, they freaking like tease you so hard, just like go for 12 episodes. And like, you know, episode 2, I just wanted to know what the hell happens after the first episode, because now that they have the kids realize the truth of like what the hell they're living in a farm, right? And that there are freaking demons and shit outside. I think they call them demons or monsters on the outside world. And that the mother is like an evil bitch. She's trying to sell them to these demons. I don't know why. But then it's just like, okay, we have to come up with a plan to get out of here. And we're gonna do it while also bringing out all 38 of our friends and our family out with us. How do we do that? And I'm just like, okay, so first of all, I think like So first they go through the forest, right? They go past the wall, the hurdle thing, and it's like, okay, we have to investigate, like, how the hell we got here. And lo and behold, they do have an actual, like, big ass wall surrounding them too. So it's like another Attack on Titan wall thing, and it's pretty solid, and they can't really climb it unless they had like sheets and stuff, which is what they do. So their first plan is like, okay, there's a giant wall there. We have to find a way to get like rope or something like that and climb it. So they gather like bunch of like blankets and bed sheets and stuff like that, and like you tie them together as together to create like a rope essentially. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's genius. That is really genius. They always do that in the movies, but I'm just like, oh shit, you can actually do that. So yeah, like, okay, they got a rope and they have a way to get over the wall somehow. Now it's just sort of like when to execute the plan. And I think they said during the day when they have free time. Or yeah, like not in the night, maybe in the nighttime actually. I don't know. No, they can't do it in the nighttime because the children who are very young and stuff would probably get sleepy and not follow along. So it'd be good to do it in the day. There's really like a lot of deep thinking into this. And then now they get introduced to the idea that they have trackers on them. I'm just like, oh my gosh, another freaking thing to overcome. Because one of the kids, or two of the kids get lost. One of them comes back saying like, oh, I got lost with my friend. She's like lost somewhere. Please help mom. And then she opens her pocket watch and it's a fucking tracker. And I'm just like, oh shit. They got tracking devices on them and they don't know where. I thought it would be these things, but that's their barcodes probably. Where would they hide a tracker? It would have to be within their skin, not in the stomach probably, but like there's trackers on them. And essentially they gotta be like, okay, we can't escape unless we take the tracker so they can't track us, or we get rid of them from our body somehow. And then that's just like another thing. And essentially, the tension's really high. I like this series because it's like psychological and tension high. It's like, because now like Norman and Ray are just sort of, or not Norman and Ray, Norman and Emma are so on edge whenever they're near mom. They're like, you have to play it normal and act cool and act like you always done, like smile and stuff. But no, like they know that their mom or mama is like an evil bitch and trying to kill them and stuff. And just like every single time she like trying to stalk them, or like you have that facial expression where she just like looks evil. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, it's just freaking dark and trippy and shit. And you know, they play it off for now. She can't suspect them. She does know that someone was at the truck that day, but she doesn't know who. So then they're playing a game where, you know, they can't give away that they were the ones who were at the truck at the gate and they saw her and stuff like that, because lo and behold, the freaking bunny was the trigger. It's like, oh shit, someone was here. I left this in the dining hall, so someone was here and saw what the hell was going on. It's some dark shit going on. So she suspects someone, which is why at the end of the episode, she brings help. She brings, I don't know what the hell the other person's name is. Actually, let me see if it's in here. She brings the help of the other maid. Does she have a name? Her name's Crone. Crone, yes. Okay, Crone. So she brings in another adult maid, caretaker person, and she's going to be living at the house with them. So then now it's just like, oh my gosh, we got to get the kids to come with us. We have to get rid of the trackers, and there's now another adult. And I'm just like, shit, this seems really difficult. And just before that, they were having a conversation where they're trying to tell Ray about this and get him in the plan. He is very much like laid back and just like chill about it. And was like, okay, so mom's the evil bitch. There's demons outside, and she's selling us to them. And this is a farm. Got it. And I'm just like, what? You know, it's like, whatever. We don't have time for you to like be in disbelief and like try to refuse them or whatever. You know, the goodies on board. And essentially, he just sort of like really like straight up to the truth or whatever. And it's just like, you know, it's probably gonna be impossible to do this if we get all 38 of us out. It'd be much more easier if we just do it us three, and you know, that sort of thing. And Emma, of course, wants to be able to save all of her family, so it's very conflicting heads. But essentially, in the end, Ray gives in and is like, you know what, fuck it, we'll do it. We'll try and do it, even though it's probably impossible. And you know, we learn that Norman has feelings for Emma, and that's why he's going along with this plan, even though it's probably not the best course of action. You know, like in probably getting 38 like 6-year-olds and under or whatever out of this situation they're in, and they don't know the truth. They probably trust in mom more, and it's just like, how are we gonna convince them to do this shit and get them out and have them survive on the outside of the wall, which we don't know what the hell is like. It's like, it's very deep. You know, I wonder if this series is done, then congrats on you, dude. This shit is freaking great, man. This is awesome. But like, so far, like, it's a psychological battle thinking and stuff like that. It's like, how are you gonna do this? How are we gonna overcome this? How are we gonna get past her? How are we gonna get rid of these trackers and stuff like that? It's just a lot of thinking and questions and how they're gonna execute it. And I really like this series. I can't wait for episode 3 so far. Yeah, man. Promised Neverland. I understand the hype, guys. It's freaking great. Okay, here we go. I'm an expert in this anime. The Quintessential Quintuplets, or Quintuplets? People say quintuplets, and I'm just like, quintuplets. Whatever, it's pronunciation. So this series, we're on episode 2. I did make the first video on episode 1 and my impression of this series, and so far, you know, episode 2 is pretty solid, I must say. You know, episode 2 focuses a lot on Miku, one of the quintuplets, the one who with the blue and the headband, not the headband, the headphones, not the headband, headphones. And essentially from what I'm seeing and assuming, I guess, that the next episode is going to deal with one of the other sisters, and then overall you'll have them get closer to our main character Futaro, to the point where they'll finally let him tutor them and stuff like that, you know. So it's building trust with every single character, and this one you get to see Miku a lot, and I don't want to spoil anything in the future of this manga because there's like a bunch of chapters going on now, but I will say that Miku is best girl, in my opinion. When you read the manga, or when you get through the end of this anime, you can feel free to fight me then, but you know, decide who's best girl after you've caught up with whatever the end of the series is or whatever. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to fight you. I just like Miku more. So yeah, this episode is focus on Miku, and if you can't tell with Miku, she is very into like history. Essentially, she's mostly into like, I forget what the freaking term is called. Is it Sengoku warlords and stuff like that, and like historical figures and whatnot. And like, she's really iffy about her potential. She sort of feels like she's like the lesser of the family, because essentially she's like very slow in PE, and she's not like, she may be the smartest out of all of them actually, because she scores higher than them, but you know, she doesn't have a lot of like those like attributes or like outstanding things that the other sisters do well and stuff like that. But then, you know, it's fine, you know, you can easily do what they can do and stuff like that. They're sisters, the quintuplets, whatever. And, you know, just have this nice bonding moment with Miku and Futaro, and it's like, yes, solid episode, very great. Essentially, Futaro comes up with a plan that each of the sisters do good at their own things. As we saw in the chart, they take a test in the beginning, and together they score 100, but on their own, they're like, it's very terrible. So essentially, he has this idea that all the sisters excel in their own things, and if they work together and try to like help out each other, they can do better, which is what they are. Because together, essentially, that's the whole premise of the quintuplets, right? They all suck at studying and their grades, but when combined together, they actually can enhance the other, and overall, as a family and as a sibling thing, grow together as well. Because Miku is good at history, someone else is good at this other thing, the other sister is good at this other thing, and whatever. I don't want to spoil anything, or I can't really remember on the top of my head, but that's essentially what he comes up with. And if one of the sisters can do this, then Miku can. If Miku can be really good at history, then one of the other sisters can. It's just a sister's quintuplet thing that he comes up with. And this is like the only second episode, but I'm just like, I'm falling in love with this anime again.
or the series. It's just so freaking good. It's still ongoing. I want an ending so bad right now. I want to know who the frick the destined girl is, and I don't want it to be Itsuki, no offense, but I don't want it to be the first girl sort of thing in anime, but like, shit happens, you know. It's like, was it Nisekoi? I don't know. You get what I mean. I don't want it to be Itsuki. I don't know. That's just me. I like everyone else more than Itsuki, but Itsuki's just like the first one he met. So then it's just like, please don't be her. So that's the Quintuplets anime. Next up, Rising of the Shield Hero, Tate no Yusha something I forget. So, this anime, oh my gosh, there's just so much good anime going on today. So, Rising the Shield Hero, of course, another manga series that I'm way ahead in. I was actually rereading the manga after watching the first episode and the second episode, just because I'm just like, I already know what happens, but I want to get the feel of this so I can do some comparisons with the manga and anime. And I must say, there are a lot of different aspects to the anime and the manga from the first art, or like what happens in those episodes and stuff like that. Things are really ordered differently, and just sort of like what the order of operations of what happens first. I think overall the anime does a better job at creating this tone, I guess, or establishing like the characters and the relationship between Naofumi and Raphtalia. I remember names, and because they had a whole hour to do it. Is it a whole hour? Yeah, they had a whole hour to do it, or at least like the whole hour was spent. First episode, the whole hour was spent establishing the whole shield thing, the transport in another world, and being basically like, accused of some dumb shit and like being cast out and having a bad reputation, like pasted on Naofumi. And at the end, they teased the Raphtalia. Second episode, oh my gosh, dude, second episode was fucking adorable. And I'm just like, damn, I miss this Raphtalia. This freaking relationship is so good. So yeah, Naofumi buys Raphtalia, and just like throughout the whole episode, you just have a nice established relationship of him taking care of this girl, like, who was a slave and stuff. Yes, she's a slave now, but she was still a slave with the guy, and she was sick and, probably gonna die off in that condition. But no, Naofumi bought her and fed her and clothed her and took care of her essentially. Yes, it's very kind of a rough situation because she has to fight monsters and risk her life and stuff. But it's just like, you have to do it, essentially. It's better probably than living in the cage. And, you just have her warming up to Naofumi and having them have a lot of great exchanges and just like a lot of interactions and like learning to care for one another. And I'm just like, it's so fucking adorable. Like Raphtalia trying to order ordering the kids' meal for her, and then it's just like adorable. It's like her trying to, trying to play with the ball, even though she doesn't want it. Like I don't want that, but her tail's wiggling. It was like adorable. And then what else is freaking adorable? It's just like a really nice like relationship they got, and like, he essentially saved her. He gave her a life, and like, yes, the term, she's technically a slave, but it's not a slave relationship that they have. It's more like a father and daughter sort of thing. Or is that a father? Yeah, I would say it's a father and daughter sort of thing, going on. It's just like that. It's just so nice that, in the end, like, they all care about each other, and it's like, we gotta get stronger so we can protect each other. It's like, I'll be strong so I can protect him with my shield, and she'll be strong to protect him with the sword and fight for him and, fight the waves. And surprisingly, in the third episode, they're gonna be doing the wave already. So I'm just like, okay, I guess. I mean, from what I read, I didn't read past the episode 2, so I don't really know exactly what happens if they will go straight into the wave, but I'm pretty sure at that time when they fight the wave, things develop, and I can't spoil anything or say anything, so I'll just say that. But overall, this anime is pretty solid. I want to discuss a little bit about the controversy. That's the word I'm looking for. The controversy with this anime and the first episode and second episode and some of that. I'm just going for, no way!
This is going for 25 episodes. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. With that knowledge, and yeah, with that knowledge, I do know a lot of the stuff that happens in the series, probably to where I'm reading right now and past and onward, because there's a lot of stuff that happens where I'm reading right now, and they can easily get to that point in 25 episodes. Yes. So down. Anyways, enough of that rambling. So there's the huge controversy about Rising the Shield Hero. Just like our very old anime from last year, Goblin Slayer. Now, everyone was super... Well, not everyone, but there's some people really triggered about, like, the whole Goblin Slayer thing. And I didn't really talk about it too much, I think, in my video. But, I mean, I understand where people are going with it, you know. I didn't really care too much about it because I already knew... Well, I sort of knew what I was getting to. I didn't know there was, like, a freaking... actual scene like that in the first episode of Goblin Slayer, but I knew that Goblin Slayer was sort of dark and not very lighthearted for the thing, because I read anime charts and stuff like that, and I get a synopsis of what I'm watching and stuff, you know? Some people probably didn't, and they were just really triggered and offended, or like really surprised about the scene, and just like, yo man, what the hell is this? Like, this is on Crunchyroll? It's like, damn, dude, or whatever. They had to put that dumb warning thing. Honestly, I don't really like the warning thing because it just sort of makes you know that shit happens in the anime. Like, I will say with Sword Art Online episode 10, I didn't know that shit was gonna happen, but I had a feeling that something dark would happen because of the freaking warning. And I'm just like, well, that's a spoiler, or, you know, like, oh, something bad's gonna happen in the episode. I'm just like, oh great, I know that now because it's a warning. I guess, yes, like having a warning is nice, but then like when it's like in the beginning, it's just sort of like foreshadowing the episode. I'm just like, oh gosh, something dark will happen at the end of the episode, and I'm just like, I don't want to, like, you know, would you want to know it beforehand, or would you want to like experience it like firsthand? It's kind of off topic, but I mean, personally for me, like, I don't like really like the warnings, because it just sort of makes it like, it makes you know what to expect when you watch the episode. And usually you watch a new episode because you want to see what happens next. And yes, you won't know exactly what dark shit happens when you see the warning, but you know, it just sort of like tells you that something dark will happen, and I don't like it too much. Okay, that was way too much talk about that. With Rising the Shield Hero, yes, the whole accusation of rape again is just very, very like thing, I guess, you know, like reading the series, when I saw that happen to him, it was like, yo, this is some stupid bullshit. And that lady, that I forget her name, is her name Mine or Main? What the hell's her name? Multi. Why is her name different in the anime? I don't know, or the manga. The bitch, essentially, that's what they call her, or that's what he calls her in the anime, right? Like, you know, like, does all this accusation stuff, steals all this stuff, and just screws him over with a bad reputation. And there's just like, you know, it's like, fudge. Like, shit, like, one accusation like that could screw over this whole person and his reputation, and everyone treats him like shit now. And it's just like, it's very harsh. Yes, the whole, like, accusation thing is very thing, but, you know, in a sense, the message is that, like, taking someone's word and, like, accusation and, like, you know, like, how you can, like, dehumanize someone to such an extent just by saying one thing about them or making a false accusation about them, and how his life got ruined and stuff like that. And then I think that this episode now is just like all about the whole slavery thing. Yes, slavery is a bad thing and stuff like that, but like, if you watch the whole episode, you see that Naofumi doesn't treat Raphtalia like a slave. It's more like a father-daughter thing, and he actually takes care of her and stuff like that. It's a much more better life than living in the cage. If Naofumi didn't pick Raphtalia up, you know, it's just like, whatever, I guess. You know, I'm not trying to say, like, take sides or whatever. I think, like, you can say what you want about the anime or the controversy and, like, you know, things like these controversies or whatever. But I mean, like, it's fiction. It's whatever. I don't really think it's, I'm not trying to take sides and make an argument, but, you know, it's just really interesting to see that people are getting triggered, or not triggered, but like, you know, they're making like such like statements over these things, and I'm just like,
I didn't see a problem with it. I mean, I guess like I don't know, but you know, I can see why they make these statements, and I can sort of just, you know, it's like I don't know what you're making a fuss about, sort of thing. You know, I can understand why people want to argue about these things, but mostly, like personally for me, I don't know. I guess I don't see it. So enough about controversial shit and stuff like that. You know, episode 2, Rising Shield Hero is great. Raphtalia is just great. And now Fumi is not an asshole. Episode 3, we'll see what happens. Episode 3, man. I actually did see a teaser for episode 3, so I do know what happens in a sense, because I do reread the manga. I would actually collect the manga now if I were to find this in Barnes or a bookstore or something like that, because I just love this series, dude. It's just so nice. And knowing that's going for 25, and they could probably surpass what I'm reading right now in the manga, is a blessing. It's freaking great. Well, actually, no, they do have to get to that point. Yeah, okay, yes. Wait. I think they will. I think they will surpass, or at least catch up to where I'm at. Then if there's a second season, then they'll do it, but who knows. Oh! Actually, that is the last series I was talking about. Oh, I did not realize that. Whoopsie daisies. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for all the anime so far for winter 2019 that I'm watching, at least, and my thoughts on those anime so far. I will talk a little bit more. Well, let's take a look, shall we? I have my cheat sheet right here, so let's take a look at some of the things that I am not watching. So let's go to Discover thing. That's not it. That's Discover. So seasonal anime. We have Mob Psycho 100 second season. I have a friend who's actually just started watching Mob Psycho 100. It's on demand, so he just watched it in English, and I'm just like, English. I've seen Mob, the first episode for first season, and I was just like, yeah, I'll watch it eventually. And I never got to it. I wasn't in my priority at the time. I was watching a bunch of shit probably, and then now there's a second season, and everyone's really like hyped for it. I'm just like, damn it. I don't know what I'm missing out on, and you know, it's just sort of like, I want to get on this eventually. I'll probably sit my ass down and watch Mob Psycho 100 someday. We got Kakaguri second season. I've never seen the first season, but it's on Netflix, so I'll probably catch up on it in my time. Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Love is Whoa! Dude, that opening is so nice, man. I'll talk about openings like after this, but like, Love is Whoa. Yeah, the freaking opening is just awesome. I love it. I'm pretty sure I've read a few of this like series in my manga app, and that's why I do know about it. But I didn't really. I kind of like. I think I read like 1 to 5 chapters of it, like really short and small. But yeah, I haven't seen the first episode of it yet, and it's currently on. It doesn't tell me what episode it's on. Oh, great, because I'm not watching it. What else we got? Dororo. So. Dororo, I thought was quite interesting at first, and like, you know, a lot of people are having high praise from it. Apparently, it is a remake of a very, very, very old anime, like in 1900s and stuff like that, like black and white, gray, and like that kind of anime style. And I'm just like, oh shit, really? And I was like, damn, that's pretty sick. And like nowadays with modern animation and techniques and stuff, they really like enhance it from like 1 to 11 and stuff. I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, like, that's why I'm like assuming from people and stuff like that, and like reactions and reviews. So yeah, people are enjoying Dororo though. So like, you know, I didn't catch up on it yet. My schedule is very freaking building up now, so I'll have to get to it eventually. So next we got what we got here. There is this anime that I haven't seen yet. It's called Wataten, An Angel Flew Down on Me. This is like the definition or the pinnacle of... I want to say pinnacle. Is there an image that I can use, please? No? Okay, I can't look at the image. This is like, so far in my list of stuff, there isn't like a definitive cute girls doing cute things anime that I personally know of, or at least I'm not watching currently. Yeah, the closest I would say to cute girls doing cute things would be Bang Dream. Oh, actually, well, okay, Bang Dream or Quintessential Quintuplets, but like, no, it's not like it's like a legit slice of life, no harem romance thing or music band thing, like cute girls doing cute things. And this anime is one I haven't seen yet, but I'm pretty sure there's like a few episodes going out there I haven't seen yet, so we'll see how that goes. What else is there? There's like apparently like a cat anime where like some like novel writer takes in a cat as like his roommate and, you know, tries to like build a relationship with the cat and like write stories about the cat and like make it a book. And I'm just like, okay. What, like, okay, sure, why not? What else we got here? 3D Kanojo, second season. So I dropped first season because I just thought that like it was just very like but then now the second season I'm just like, I'm kind of tempted to see how this anime got a second season out of anything else, and I'm just like, fuck it, I gotta go back to it. We'll see how that happens. The overall, that's it from the looks of it. There's nothing else here. Yeah, okay, that's really it. So yeah, I mean, I guess I would say I'm watching like some of the majority series of this season, and yes, there are some other animes that I haven't watched yet, and maybe if I discover some new animes, then I'll talk about them here. I actually do remember I want to catch up on Ruby Volume 6. I haven't caught up in Ruby in so long, but that means I get to binge watch a lot of shit, so I'm down for that. Yeah, overall, I mean, winter 2019 anime is going so far so good. I'm very scared to go back to school and classes a week from now and just like not have time to watch anime, or maybe watch anime while I'm in class and like multitask. Wink, wink. So, yeah, that's about it for all the anime so far. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And next up, we're going to be talking about anime openings because, oh my dear lord, anime openings this season are the shit. They really are. Like I don't know if it's me or not, but like every single anime from this season is just like, oh my gosh, the openings are so good. And I wrote down a list of all the openings that I like from this season, so let me pull it up right now. Wow, really like here's like my light from my iPad, and then bam, you can see me now. Okay, so openings. I did mention them a little bit also when I was talking about the anime, but openings. Domestic Kanojo, that opening is very freaking great, and I actually, the second episode changed some of the visuals a little bit. I think it's just like a small scene, like 1 second or 4 frames or whatever, and it's still the same, but I mean, I don't know if it's the open. Okay, so the opening, the overall opening is good. The visuals are good, and the song is good. The openings and visual mix really well, and I think a lot of people really like Domestic Kanojo's opening. Is it going for? Hold on, let me split my apps so I can see if do some split data thing. So let me put that there, and then Domestic Kanojo, we don't have a confirm on how many episodes it is, but like, yeah, dude, freaking, like, the whole opening, to me, makes it think that, like, well, it sets the tone for the anime, for one, in my opinion, and it just makes it feel like it's, like, gray and stuff, and it's raining, and, like, you know, you have this whole love triangle thing, and love relationship problems and stuff like that, and essentially, it just makes it look really dark and very tense, which I said like previously before, and that's what the opening does. It's just that good, and I really like it. And I downloaded the song on my phone. I can't wait to get the full song of that. It's freaking good. Next up, so that song is called Kawaki wo Ameku by Minami. If you guys are interested in that list, I'll put the links in the description below too, the names of the openings. Promised Neverland, Overworld. Oh my gosh, dude. They played the opening of the first episode, and I was just like, oh shit, we're getting the opening, and I was like, yes, this shit sounds good. And Overworld, like, wow, it's just so super nice. It's called Touch Off. Yes. Very action-packed opening, and essentially like the whole visual sort of like, I think for one, the opening was really nice because they played it right in the beginning of the first episode, and like it cuts off to the point where like, oh, like the kids, the main characters Ray, Norman, and Emma are at the gate. It's like, oh, well, I wonder what's on the outside and what are your dreams and stuff like that. And they play that, and then it doesn't spoil anything at all about this whole series. It just makes it like, you know, like there's these kids, and then you have the mom, and then what's her name, the other. I forgot her name already. It's what? Crone. Yes, Crone, the new maid or the adult. And then, it's just like, oh, all these kids, 2 adults, and then, like, there's some kind of action-packed thing where they're running through the forest and they're trying to, like, I don't know, escape or, like, trying to do something. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on in this opening, but, like, it sounds good. And then when you get the context of the first episode and stuff like that, it's just like, oh, they're trying to escape their prison or their farm or whatever. And I'm just like, yes, this opening fits really nice. And all the characters seem, like, really, like, ready to do some shit, even though, like, they're only, like, 11 or 12 years old. Like, they have to, like, fight for their lives at that young age and think it through and think of a plan to somehow escape and stuff like that. It's very some tense shit, and that's awesome. Daily Life Season 3. Well, here's the thing with, like, anime openings. So, if you have an anime with... So, for one, the opening is I Swear by Sweet Arms, and overall, I love just the consistency of anime, and, like, with Daily Life, every single song, or at least the opening and the main theme of the seasons, they're always sung by one band, which is Sweet Arms, and I just love this consistency. I'm just like, I know what to expect from the anime and the music, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Sweet Arms again, and they always have the same, like, sort of feel and tone to the openings. I just recently downloaded seasons 1, 2, and 3's opening, and I'm just like, yes, Sweet Arms is great. I just really love that consistency, and it's really a shame sometimes when, like, you have series have a really good opening and stuff, but then there's, like, a second half, and they change the opening, and it's just sort of like, this opening is not as good as the first one, sort of thing. I think I feel that one with Sword Art Online season Alicization. I haven't really caught up with Alicization, actually. I've totally been lazy about it just because I was like, just going for 50 episodes. I don't really need to, like, watch it every single week and stuff. But I mean, I really liked Adams. Is it Adames? Adames, I think. That's what, like, Chinese sword or whatever. I really like the first opening, and they have a new opening now after episode 12, I'm assuming, called Resistor, and I'm just like, it's good. I don't dislike it, but I just prefer Adames more. It just sounded more thing. I do actually like the ED, though, for the second half, the new one, for Forget Me Not by Riona. If you guys don't know, Riona is the one who does the singing and I think, like, some of the music and stuff and singing for Gun Gale Online, SAO GGO Alternative, and she is the idol girl in that series. I forget her name, but she does some of the soundtrack, and oh my gosh, her voice is so thing. I like all of her songs. It's so nice, and it's just like, consistency once again, to have someone from the same series or universe do a song again. Like, what's another anime that I can think of that does this concept all the time? I actually can't think of anything on top of my head, but yeah, essentially, if you have one band sing most of the songs for the series, then it's just freaking great and consistent, and I love it. Next up, we have Magical Girl Spec-Ops Asuka. This opening is really, really nice. It's called Kono by Nonoke, I believe. I don't know. This opening is really, like, awesome. The sound, cause, Magical Girl Spec-Ops thing is like a super serious soldier, darkest sort of esque anime, and the opening actually does fit with it. There's like this sequence essentially, because if you remember, like, me talking about Asuka, it's about, like, the main character Asuka, who's a magical girl fighting all these monsters and these battles and stuff, is very sick of it and tries to leave that behind. And in the opening, she's sort of hesitant to go back to doing her magical girl stuff. But then in the end, like, in the second half of the opening, it's just really nice. You can do, like, an analysis of that video or whatever. But I mean, I just like the song too. The visuals in the song are nice. And, like, there's, like, one part in the song where just, like, the drop kicks in and the beat kicks in, and it's like, if you guys listen to the opening or the song, you know what I'm talking about. But that shit is my favorite part of the song, where it beats. Yeah, I'll say that. You can watch it later. Rising the Shield Hero, Rise by Mad Kid. So this opening is just, oh man, that was like, did they show the opening in the first episode of the hour special? I think they did. I think they played it at the end, but then we didn't actually see the opening. I think now we do. We saw the opening for Rising the Shield Hero in episode 2, and it's a pretty good opening, I must say. The opening is really nice, and it does tell you, or at least it tells me about like what they're doing in this anime. And I was like, oh, they're doing this arc, they're gonna show this character and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna spoil anything. It's just like they show a lot of good stuff in there. Like they show like, you know, like the heroes, like the sword hero, bow hero, spear hero, shield hero, and their companions and stuff like that. Like, you have to show all the characters and them fighting the wave and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, it's cool, I like it. And the song, I actually have the full song already, so that's cool. The name Mad Kid sounds very familiar to me. I can't place it on top of my head what other songs I listen to them, but it just sounds familiar. And overall, I just like the song. It's really nice, and it fits the. I always say this for the song. It fits the series. If the opening fits the series and the opening sequence, the visuals and stuff like that, then it's good. Or, you know, it just enhances the thing. Yes, I don't really listen to music while watching the opening and the music video or whatever, but like it just I could at least remember it when I listen to the song. You know, it's that good. Next up, we have Boogiepop and Others. So this is a very trippy ass opening, Shadowgraph by Myth and Royd. Myth and Royd, I'm pretty sure they've done. Was it ReZero that did Myth and Royd? I think Myth and Royd did one of the ReZero songs or EDs. I forget which one it is, but yeah, like this with Boogiepop and it being a super trippy anime with like some supernatural shit and like random things that happen. The visuals in this opening are just really awesome overall, and it fits. It just enhances the tone of Boogiepop, where it's very mysterious and psychological and stuff like that. You just like have like a bunch of mirror reflections and like these people transforming and shit in the opening, and then like, you know, like shit going like a lot of shit happening and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, this opening fits this anime so much, and the Myth and Royd song too. It just makes it like, you know, like super psychological and mystery and stuff like that. I really like it. I don't know about listening to it in my casual time. I mean, I probably would, but I mean, it's whatever. Like, it's a pretty good opening. I could do like honorable mentions like Bang Dream, but then if you watch Bang Dream or play Bang Dream, then you probably like the songs already. Mostly the songs and the ED and OP are done by. So there's two openings that they did for episode 1 and 2. So there's a Pod and Party one and a Roselia one. If you're a fan of those, you probably enjoyed those already, you know. And they're actually out already in full. I'm just waiting for the EDs because they come out in February, and there's two different ones by Pop and Party and Roselia also. So they get 2 new songs for Pop and Party and Roselia, and they get 2 new EDs. So I'm just like, damn, favoritism, or not favoritism, like they're like the more developed bands out of everyone. Like, I want some more. Well, actually, Pastel Palettes does get another song for this Bermuda Triangle anime thing going on. It's like a mermaid idol thing. I haven't seen it yet, but I didn't really mention it or talk about it. Quintessential Quintuplets. The opening isn't really too outstanding to me. It's sung by all the characters, or by the Quintuplets at least, so it's just like, it fits. But then I think I would want to hear a full version before I just sort of like thing. I don't know if in the full version you'll have a version where it's like them trying to call Futaro and trying to wake him up and stuff like that, because that's in the beginning of the opening. They're always like trying to call him and like tell him to wake up or whatever. And then you have the song play, and I'm just like, I don't know if I like that or not. The ED wasn't also outstanding to me as much. I don't really remember it too much. I think I skipped the ED a little bit, but I'm sorry. Promised Neverland's ED, it was okay. I actually don't remember too much. Domestic Kanojo's ED, I think Domestic Girlfriend's ED is all not bad too. I actually do remember it vaguely, but I did listen to it at least once or twice because I wanted to know if I wanted it or not. But yeah, openings, man, it's freaking good. I haven't seen all the other openings for all the other anime, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's it for anime of this season for now. Yes. I need a breath and some water. So next up, for my final segment, we will be talking more about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards for 2018. Yes, sponsored by Devil May Cry 5. So I did do a more in-depth analysis thing of this, and like who I voted for, and me talking about every single category or nominee and stuff like that. but I can talk a little bit about it and just like with my tablet cheat sheet sort of thing. So there was a contest for the Anime Awards thing where if you can guess the 6 titles that were going to be nominated for Anime of the Year, you would win a PS4 Pro. And I was super... I already have a PS4. As you know, I stream on it. But I was just like, PS4 Pro! And I'm just like, I gotta give a shot at this. So it's very thing when you're trying to guess an Anime of the Year award nominee thing. So you have to be super meta about your research. Because at first, I was putting in the animes that I liked and I enjoyed the most. But it's like, no, I have to cater towards more of the normies. I'm not saying you're not normies. I have to cater toward more of like the majority of like anime fans and stuff like that. And just like, okay, what do the majority of people like and stuff like that? So I had to like think about it because there's a lot of anime in 2018. And then here was my prediction. So here we are. We have Place Further Than the Universe, Bunny Girl Senpai, Violet Evergarden, Slime, Isekai, Attack on Titan Season 3, and My Hero Season 3. Now, out of these predictions, I have 2 right. Very, very off. So I do have Place Further Than the Universe, and wait, was Violet Evergarden in here? Oh, okay, yeah, Violet Evergarden. Okay, Violet Evergarden was there. So everything in here, actually, it might be easier to just do this. No, actually, it is do this. Okay, yes. So Violet Evergarden and Place Further Than the Universe were in the nominees, so I got 2 out of 4. And I'm just like, wait a minute, are you telling me that My Hero or Attack on Titan, these big title animes, are not in the thing for Anime of the Year? Not even the Slime Isekai and Bunny Girl? And I'm just like, I have to know what was the Anime of the Year nominees. So then I finally looked at it, and I was like, so we have Devilman Crybaby, Violet Evergarden, Place Further Than the Universe, Megalobox, Zombieland Saga, and Hinamatsuri. Now, I was like deep analyzing this stuff, and I'm just like, I didn't think about all the Netflix anime, and I'm just like, shit, that's actually true. I didn't think about all these Netflix things. Like, I had like Agresco and Devilman Crybaby, and I'm just like, I barely watch anime on Netflix. I'm always on Crunchyroll. Like, who watches, like, Netflix, let's be honest, you know, like, they don't have a lot of new anime and stuff like that. Yes, they're trying to expand on that, but then either way, their anime, like, thing is really off and not as big as everyone else. Sure, they are, like, building their way up there because they have Evangelion now, and they're going to be they have Devilman, but, like, if you're trying to watch something weekly, like last time with Violet Evergarden, this is my Violet Evergarden example, right? Like, I wanted to watch this thing so much, but then they didn't like release it weekly on Netflix when it was airing, and they only did that in other countries, and I was like super like I was like why? Are you serious? Like, I'm trying to watch this thing weekly, and I can watch it here. I have a Netflix. But no, I have to wait like 13 weeks for the whole series to be done. Then I can finally binge watch it. Yes, I sometimes have moments where I binge watch and watch things weekly. But like, you know, I have the time to watch weekly and I want to watch weekly. So I'm just like, well, damn. Whatever, I guess. And then I have to resort to other methods. So yeah, that's all my only like thing about Netflix. We'll see how other anime go there. But I mean, like, so analyzing the Anime of the Year, right? Like, Place Further Than the Universe and Violet Evergarden were my 2 correct answers, so I was like, yeah, I know why these 2 are up there. Devilman Crybaby, very interesting. I haven't seen it yet. I do, like, what do you call it, slide by it in Netflix when I'm trying to look at animes that I can watch for whatever. And, like, I see a trailer of it, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks pretty solid. I'll, you know, watch it eventually. Megalobox, interesting enough. You know, it's like a mecha boxing anime. Like, it's very weird because I expected, like, you know, with all last year, right? I expected there to be another My Hero thing. You know, it's like all the My Hero awards. And yes, My Hero is a very popular series, and I can understand why it would be on the nominees for Anime of the Year. But, you know, Season 3 was much bigger than Season 2, and I would have thought that, like, you know, it would be on the Anime of the Year list. Because it's just up there, and a lot of shit happened in that season that, like, a lot of fans like. And the same could be said for Attack on Titan Season 3, but, you know, that was kind of iffy. I was just trying to go for, like, the mainstream stuff. and I guess it didn't work. So Zombieland Saga was a huge surprise for me because I did enjoy Zombieland Saga, but I thought that it wasn't as popular and received as everyone on the internet thought. Because yes, at first glance, everyone did not know what this anime was, and when finally actually people got to watch it, it was just amazing. But I was just one of those off the side anime that I thought that no one would actually really watch or like, you know, think highly of, because like this beat, technically in my list, it beat Bunny Girl Senpai, and if I had to pick a preference of which one I watched, that's a little bit hard actually, now that I try to make that comparison. Yes, Zombieland Saga, I would love it to be on my anime of the year list, but then does it beat like My Hero or like Attack on Titan? I guess it does, because it's here on anime of the year list. I mean, that's just my preference and all. And then Hinamatsuri, I've never seen Hinamatsuri. I do hear positive things about it from people, and it's just another one of those series on Crunchyroll that I have to binge watch, and it's like, shit! So yeah, I've actually seen half of all these anime of the year. I was like, cool, I'm down for that. Why not? The genres overall, so we got Best Protagonist. I was leaning more towards Violet or Sakuda. Best Antagonist, I've only seen one villain here and I know of. It's in My Hero. So yeah, that's another thing with these My Hero awards, right? Or not. Did I just say that? I'm sorry. It's just like, you know, the top of my head was I was talking about last year. The problem with these Crunchyroll anime awards, right, for me, is that like I don't watch all the anime in the world. That's impossible. Or it may be possible for someone who has the free time of the world and is rich, but like I can't sit and watch every single anime ever in a season. There's just no way I'm gonna do that with the school work that I have to do and balance and the other career stuff I have to do. It's just like I barely have time to watch anything, and I'm not just gonna be sitting around on my bed or a couch and looking at my computer or phone all day watching anime. Cause like I go eat and do other things and take care of my body and stuff. Like yeah, like consuming anime is a very time consumption task, and there's no way I'm gonna watch every single thing. Like if I had to count how many different animes are in this chart, which you can technically do, it's just like I can't see all these things, and the things from I do watch that I enjoy and take more precedence over these other things I've never seen. It's just like, you know, I can't really make time for it. So yeah, Best Antagonist I would say is like My Hero. Best Boy could be anyone. Best Girl, my Best Girl was the hardest choice to make because it's between Nadeshiko from Laid Back and Mai from Bunny Girl. That was like the hardest decision to make. Dear, like this category for Best Boy is just like, yeah, whatever, you know. But no, this Best Girl, like this is the shit. Like you have to be careful with your choice here. And I didn't mention this in my actual video, but they did put Lily in here, and I'm just like, oh yes, Lily, you know, she's like, you know, identifies as a girl in the Zombieland Saga anime. If you don't know about that, I'm like, yeah, cool. They put Lily in there just for that, and you know, cool, I guess. What else do we got here? Best opening sequence. So these, like the categories for best opening and best ending, I'm so confused of, or not confused, but like, you know, if I pick an opening on something, it's probably because I like the music more than the actual opening sequence and the visuals and stuff like that. So then, like, well, we had Darling the Franxx and Wotakoi in here, and I was like, shit, I like both anime, or I like both the anime's openings and the song and the visuals. Wotakoi has lesser visuals than Darling the Franxx does, yes, but like the tone of the song is very different from Darling the Franxx, so I'm just like, I don't know what to pick. This very thing. Same goes for ED. Like After the Rains ED is freaking great, and Eimer is just awesome. I've never seen the other ED songs for the other series except Attack on Titan Season 3. And yes, I don't really prefer the song for Attack on Titan Season 3, but the visuals are very trippy and, you know, foreshadowing of events and stuff like that, if you're into those sort of things. So I'm just like, I don't know, I guess, or whatever. It's so a thing to vote for these things. Best voice actor performances. This is a category I actually really liked how they added. And, you know, it's just appreciation for the voice actors. And it's like, yeah, dude, that's pretty cool. They have one for English, too. I was like, if you watch dubs, then good job. You can vote on that. Best director is a category that I was really iffy about because I'm just like, I ain't no film, anime, visual analysis sort of channel or person. So I'm just like, I don't know. But I think I would probably give it to, like, Violet Evergarden and Place Further in the Universe are very well directed because, well, I mean, I don't know if it's because, like, I really enjoy them a lot, but, like, the story and, like, how, like, the anime flows and stuff like that, I really did like, and I thought it was really impressive how they did that, so that's why I thought I was like, whatever. Best animation, surprisingly in here, is Bloom Into You, which is one of my favorite animes for, I think it was last season, in winter 2018, and I'm just like, this is on best animation, and I'm just like, I guess, but then, like, I don't think it's not gonna beat Violet Evergarden or Place Further in the Universe. I don't know. Honestly, I think I would like to see Bloom Into You's opening and best OP sequence because it had a very good opening sequence with a lot of flowers and stuff like that. And I would actually vote for that over Darling in the Franxx or Watercoy, actually. I would have really done that. Really weird how they did that. But yeah, best film. This is a very hard category because I barely have time to watch films. And, like, you know, if you're trying to watch a film in America, there's just very limited times to watch it. So then, like, the only ones I've seen on here is Liz and the Bluebird and My Hero. And, of course, and Fireworks, surprisingly, was on here, although Fireworks has a lot of negative reviews and stuff like that. Mirai is on here, and I've never seen Mirai yet. And I'm just like, oh, man, how can I judge this category? And I've never seen the movie. I'm just like, how do I do that? And I was like, well, shit, it's either going to be between Liz and the Bluebird or My Hero. And, you know, both are really good. My Hero does his own thing. Liz and the Bluebird is a freaking visual and, like, masterpiece sort of thing. So I think I went with that. But yeah, like, you know, it's based on what you thought, I guess. Best character design. Best character design is very because it just depends essentially to animation and how characters look. For me, I really like more realistic looks, which is in Violet Evergarden. And Zombieland Saga has some really interesting visuals, or character design as well. And I made a funny joke about how Gresco just looks like like in the universe of Hello Kitty. And I was like, whatever, it's okay, you know. This is a really iffy category. Anime of the year. Best fight scene of the year. This is all the sponsored category. And the interesting fights in here was with All for One, and All Might, and then the Boruto, Naruto and Sasuke versus Momoshiki, and then Goku versus Jiren. This is a very complicated thing because, like, when you say best fight scene, it can mean very different things for a person. It doesn't mean, like, it looked the most impressive, or, like, the fight choreography was really cool, or, like, the meaning behind the fight. It's just really vague, I think. And it's like, because I could say the best looking fight scene could have been Boruto because they outdone the movie Boruto in that fight scene. I was like, dude, I didn't think they could actually do that. You know, it's like, I've seen the fight already in the movie, and when they did in the anime, they just blew my mind. It was like, oh shit, this is actually way better than the movie. They did it. And they did use some things in the movie, but it still looked better, you know? And then All Might's fight with All for One was just a huge impactful thing for the series, and the symbol of peace sort of thing, so that's why the fight had super huge meaning and stuff like that. So I'm just like, which one do I pick? Leave in the comment section below what you guys picked. Very interested to hear your thoughts. Best continuing series. I don't know how the hell these things are on here. I mean, like, continuing series is such a very, like, thing topic, because, like, look, One Piece is in here, and it's probably on episode, like, 500 something. I don't know where episode is on. But I mean, Boruto's on here, and we're just waiting, like, what, episode 40? And we're just waiting for, like, 100 more so that we can do Boruto Shippuden or whatever. And then Dragon Ball Super, I would give Dragon Ball Super some praise because I've seen the Broly movie, and I'll do a video on that eventually later, but, like, that movie was pretty good, and I was like, damn, dude, Super can go to this new direction and stuff like that after this movie. It's pretty cool. But I don't know, it's just sort of off. Now, there are some categories on here that are missing that I'm very disappointed in. And I'm just like, these were really good categories that I liked before, and you could have kept them in here and had like 20 nominees or 20 different categories. And they're basically like best genre sort of things, so like best action, best drama, best slice of life, best romance or whatever. And then there's one for best manga. And the reason I want these nominees or like them a lot to, you know, I was really disappointed to see them gone, is because you just appreciate sort of like the genres. Because yeah, you could say best action could have been like My Hero, or what other action are there? There's Megalobox, you know, it's very good categories that separate all the anime into different categories and, you know, fit for more things. You could put like our best comedic, you could put Zombieland Saga in there, and then Hino Matsuri, and then it's like, oh, you know, you could appreciate all these animes that are funny and some of that laid back camp, best slice of life, maybe, I don't know. You know, it's just like really missed opportunity, I think. You know, I really like that sort of genre because it just has this discussion of like these animes and the genre that we like and stuff like that. And I thought that, you know, could have been in there. Best manga, the only reason I really like best manga is because it's a very vague topic that I didn't really know much about. Like last year's best manga category, I was like, I don't know any of these books. And that intrigued me because I ended up picking up the winner's book of that award, My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. And I'm just like, oh shit, when I bought it, I realized like this is the one that won the Crunchyroll award for best manga of the year. And I'm just like, yes, that's so cool, because yes, I picked up the book, I read it, I was like, damn, this book is really good. And I forgot, and I make the connection, it's like, it is from the Crunchyroll Anime Award last year. And I was like, oh shit. You know, like, you can, like, get some good recommendations and insight on these books that I don't really know much about, and you can pick them up in real life and stuff like that. You know, if I actually remembered that, you know, that series was the award winning from Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to read this book and pick it up and see what's about, because it won this award, you know, sort of that kind of thing. It's just a discovery sort of thing. As a manga collector, you know, I'm just like, I love reading books and I love collecting books, so, you know, I love to get these good recommendations from professional judges and stuff like that. And just like, yeah, this manga was the shit. And honestly, My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness was a really good manga, and I can't wait for its sequel books over there, My Solo Exchange Diary. There's that. But, yeah, that's overall it for, like, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. If you want an in-depth discussion about that, then go ahead and check out the other video that I did. Yeah, so far I think I'm done. That's all I have time for this podcast discussion thing. So recapping, we talked about all the anime of the winter 2019 season from up until now to January 20, and so far we're like, what, 3 weeks in, I believe, in anime. Oh no, we're 3 weeks in, because Boogiepop's on 4, but that they did 2 episodes in the first week. So that's why I'm thinking 4 weeks. No, we're in like the 3rd week of the season. And so far it's just really entertaining and really good. All the openings are really nice and stuff. And I made some list of like all the openings that I noticed that really caught my attention. And like, yeah, they're really good. The songs are good. The visuals are good. And then we talked a little bit about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Although I do have a more in-depth video somewhere in the, you know, like thing right here, you know. You can check that out also. The reason why I'm doing this podcast style, or at least trying it out, is because a lot of my life and real life things are catching up to me, and, you know, I'm like I'm going back to, my classes resume in like 8 to 7 days from now. So I'm just like, well, shit, we'll see if my schedule allows me to be able to make videos, or, you know, watch anime or do anything along with my new business thing that I have going on. There's like a potential like career thing that I have, like I'm taking a class with, to sort of like further my thing, because this is my last semester of college, and after that I will be a free domo. And I'm just like, well, shit, what am I gonna do after this? So I'm taking this thing and just like exploring places and jobs and whatever. So I'm just like, I'm gonna have to balance that with the schoolwork, with the Fate Grand Order and all the gacha games and all the like the games and the events and like my gaming, his personal life and hobbies and whatnot. So I'm just like, it probably might be me overthinking things. If anything, my goal is to try and like balance everything from my health to social life to hobbies and school work and career work and stuff like that. That's like 5 different things to balance, and I'm just like mind blowing right now. So it's whatever. Anyways, yeah. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about the Domotaku podcast format thing. If you guys like, I don't know, put me on like blast audio for like an hour 40 minutes. Damn, this is a long ass time. This is the longest I've been talking actually. I've never done the talk this long before without catching my breath and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys talk about this format. If you guys really like this format, then I'll probably do another one like 3 weeks ahead more. I won't do these things weekly, or I could technically do things weekly, but who knows. But you know, it's good to do these things after a longer period of time, so I can just recap all the anime and stuff like that, like I did with the beginning. And then you can do other segments, like I talk about manga buys or games or whatever, and movies and other things. So I think it's really a nice format, and just let me know what you guys think about it. And of course, when I do the next one, I'll probably try and come up with some other ideas to talk about in this podcast. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section below about this style of videos and stuff like that. And you know, your thoughts. If you have any questions about anything I've mentioned in the video or the cast or whatever that I didn't mention in the description, let me know so I can fix it. And yeah. Whew. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video on the Domotaku channel. So stay tuned, guys. Take care and enjoy this new anime season because it's still freaking good. And stay tuned for February 16. Mark your calendars, guys, for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. It's 2 days right after Vocabulary Day, Valentine's Day, and I'm probably gonna have my heart broken from a gacha because I'm trying to summon for virtual 2D waifus and gacha games. Yeah, jokes. Okay, anyways, see you guys later. Take care, guys, and matane.